What is up, everybody? We're back here at King Film Sports for another March Madness themed video. Another one for betting locks. This time we are in the Elite Eight, and I am going to be handicapping each of the 4 games, so stay tuned for that. And we've been firing on all cylinders during March Madness, as here you get to see my record for all the rounds and in total. And we were 16-10 going into the Sweet 16, above 60%, and we maintained being above 60%. As we went 3-2 in the Sweet 16, so winning record, I regard that as successful. In total, we are 19-12 and hitting at 61%, so that is what you love to see. And take notes on these betting locks because I think I have some great ones in the Elite Eight. And I'm going to be trying out a novel style. You're going to see it very quick. And here we go. We get into the first game of the Elite Eight, which is on Monday. We have Oregon State, the 12 seed. Hot team out of the Pac-12 against Houston, the number 2 seed. And here, I haven't done it ever before in these videos, but give me the underdog money line. Give me the Beavers plus 300. And this is something that I've been noticing throughout this tournament. For example, I took Oregon State plus 7 against Loyola Chicago, whereas I could have gotten them plus 250 for the win. And I'm not only doing this because of the great value that I get at plus 300. I actually think that Oregon State has a great shot to win this game. Seeing as they've been hot from 3 and they've been hitting timely buckets in their first 3 games in March Madness and all throughout the Pac-12 tournament. And then you combine that with their great defense. I mean, they absolutely clamped down Tennessee, and then an Oklahoma State team who had been lighting it up all year, and then a Loyola team who got whatever they wanted against Illinois. Loyola put up, I think, less than 20 points in the first half and would have been below 50 if it weren't for some inflated scoring at the end of the game, as always happens. And then you combine that to a team in Houston who is not good at the outside shot at all. In fact, in their games this March Madness, they've really been having to rely on the offensive rebound and then second and third chance scoring. So, in my opinion, as long as Oregon State is adequate in the defensive rebounding sector, I think they will have a great shot to win this game. If Ethan Thompson keeps up his play and you have clutch shot makers like Reichel and Lucas on the offensive end, Silva plays a great game inside, I think Oregon State has a good shot to win this game. And also, we don't know about the health of Giroux, one of Houston's best players who really carried them in that Syracuse game. It seemed like something was wrong with him. Every few minutes, he would just go to the sideline where he'd be checked out by the trainer and put back in, and then limping, and then the cycle would continue. So I don't expect him to be completely healthy against Oregon State, which is another reason why I think the Beavers have a great chance to advance to the Final Four. Next game, we have a great one in Arkansas and Baylor, and give me another value play, Arkansas plus the 300. I had Arkansas in the first 2 rounds, and then I just didn't know what we were going to get in the Oral Roberts game, and hell, great on me that I didn't take Arkansas in that one, as they barely even won the game, let alone covering the 11-point spread. But here, I love them against Baylor at a plus 300 spot. I think they're going to have to play a lot better against this Baylor team than they've shown in their last 2 outings where they've just scathed by. But Baylor, they had a lot of trouble against Villanova. As you guys know, I took Baylor -7 against Nova. And Nova really showed the blueprint of how you beat Baylor. You just have to close out on their 3-point shots. Baylor wasn't hitting much in the first half. How they opened it up was they got their 3-point shooting to go in the second half. And really, Villanova was pounding it inside. I think Arkansas can do that. They also have some great perimeter talent. And really, Baylor has blown out their opponents the first 3 games in the tournament. And just in March Madness history, not a lot of times does a 1 seed just go through the Final Four and in their quadrant have no major challenge. So I think this one is going to be a closer game than people expect. I think Eric Musselman is going to dial up a great plan, and I think this one is going to be very close, which is why I love the value and taking the Hogs at plus 300 money line. Next, we go to the Tuesday locks, where the first one in USC Gonzaga, you guessed it, I'm taking USC money line plus the 400. If you haven't caught on the patterns, I'm taking these underdog money lines here as we have some great value. And I know everyone is scared to pick against Gonzaga as they absolutely tore apart a pretty good Creighton team. The only difference is I think USC has a great matchup with Gonzaga. The problem really for Creighton and Oklahoma, for that matter, was Drew Timme, the guy with the handlebar mustache. Inside could not be stopped at all. But you're going against one of the most ferocious defensive teams in the Trojans. You have great length on the perimeter and inside. You have the Mobley brothers, Isaiah White, Drew Peterson, Ethan Anderson, Chavez Goodwin. I mean, the list goes on. And the thing is, Gonzaga hits their perimeter shots. USC is the best team in the nation in opponents' field goal percentage, so they don't give a lot of easy looks to opponents. And it's really going to come down to Gonzaga's three-point shooting and also USC's three-point shooting. USC has been great in three-point shooting in their first 3 games against Drake, Kansas, and Oregon, and they're going to have to continue that. I don't think it's going to be easy for the Trojans, but I love their odds here at plus 400. I know Gonzaga's undefeated, but they have not been tested all year. They've only played 1 game within double digits, which was against West Virginia, I think, in January. They are going to get tested here, and USC is a battle-tested team. They've lost a lot more games over the course of the season, but they know what they're doing in these tense situations. For example, against UCLA, last game of the regular season, Tajidi hit a corner 3 for the win. So I think this one's going to come down to the wire, and someone on USC is going to hit a big-time shot, and I don't think Gonzaga is going to know how to respond. I know it's really ballsy here going against an undefeated team and taking the money line of the underdog, but give me the Trojans plus the 400. Final game we got here, UCLA versus Michigan, and you guys knew it had to happen. Give me UCLA plus 300. And I know you guys might be thinking this is pretty degenerate, taking the money lines of all of the underdogs. But with these great odds, plus 300 or better, you're telling me that all of the favorites are going to win in the Elite 8 round? I find that very hard to believe, because even in a chalk tournament like we had in 2019, 3 of the 4 underdogs won in the Elite 8 round, and this tournament is much more crazy. I could see all of the underdogs winning in this round, however unlikely you may think it is. But for this matchup, I mean, UCLA, they just continue to surprise me. I was very hesitant on that Bama-UCLA game because I knew that Bama might win by 20, but also UCLA could have won, and UCLA just flexed their muscles, going up by 13 points in regulation, and then just when you thought that they might lose it in overtime, they put up over 20 points and put it away. Jaime Jaquez, great inside the post. You also have Cody Riley, a great rim defender. And then Johnny Juzang, the transfer from Kentucky, is really showing out in this tournament. You also have Tiger Campbell, who can get his own bucket in crunch time. I love the players on this UCLA team and how Mick Cronin has his guys going against a Michigan team, which I have faded in the last 2 rounds, and it hasn't really worked out. But I'm just not very high on this team. They've gone against some teams that have not been able to hit perimeter shots, and that is just not the case here for UCLA. Michigan was just playing great team offense against LSU and FSU, but I don't think that's going to be able to work. I think Wagner and Dickinson are going to be challenged on the offensive end, and I don't think Mike Smith is going to be able to get whatever he wants on the offensive end as well. So I, again, love the value in the underdog here. Give me UCLA plus 300. So let me know what you guys think on this very unique style of betting here that I have exhibited in my Elite 8 locks. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you thought it was stupid. Obviously, we will see the results in our next video, which will be the Final 4 betting locks. So let me know if you guys are tailing me or fading me on any of my bets. I want to know, and I will see you guys all in the next one.